right, third grade, this is extra practice for chapter 19, page 402. So you're going to need to make sure you have your book as well as a sheet of paper. So you can see on the sheet of paper, I still have my pink line on the left side. I have my name, the date, and the label. So as we're going through this, this is actually your homework. So I'm going to go through set A, B, C, D, and E and kind of do one problem from each one to kind of show you how to do it and where to look back in the book to find the information. But you need to make sure you complete all of the problems on this page. Okay, so set A, we have 1 through 4 going to be name each figure. Now what I do is I'm going to go to page 384 and there I'm going to find all the definitions for line, point, line segment, ray, and an angle. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to figure out that number 1 is actually a point. So for number 1, I'm going to put point. Okay, and then I'm going to continue to do 2, 3, and 4. So then I'm going to have number 2, number 3, and number 4. Remember, go ahead and go back through and look at page 384 to find that information. Then I'm going to go to number 5, where we have, what are these angles? Is it a right, acute, or an obtuse angle? So number 5, is it a perfect corner, perfect square corner? I don't think it is. So I know it's not a right angle. Now, is it an acute or obtuse? Is it smaller or larger? So here I'm going to go to page 385, and here it shows examples of what a right, acute, and obtuse angle is. And I'm thinking it looks more like an obtuse angle. So for number 5, I'm going to put obtuse angle. And then once again, I still need to do 6, 7 as well to finish that out. Okay, now we're going to go on to set B, which is talking about parallel or intersecting lines. So I'm going to review that by going to page 388. Intersecting lines are lines that cross to form angles. And then parallel lines are lines that never cross. They don't form any angles, and they're always the same distance apart. Now, with that, I have 2 parts to this. If they're parallel, I'm just going to write parallel. But if they're intersecting, I have to write whether they're perpendicular or not perpendicular. And look, on page 388, you can see perpendicular, when they cross, they form right angles. So let's go ahead and go back. So, all right, number 1, taking a look at those lines, I don't think they cross at all. So that means they are parallel. And all I have to write is parallel. Now, we are going to do number 2 here to kind of show you what to do. Number 2, they are intersecting. I do know they are intersecting, so I'm going to write intersecting. But I have to take a look and go, are they perpendicular? Do they form right angles or not? And I don't see perfect right angles, so I'm going to write not perpendicular. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish 3 and 4 by yourself for set B. All right, taking a look at set C, it says write the number of sides and angles each polygon has, then the name of the polygon. So there's a couple steps here we have to do for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm actually going to flip to page 390 that tells me what it is, the names of the polygons, and how many sides and how many angles. So for example, a 6-sided figure and with 6 angles is called a hexagon. So when I go back here for set C, I'm going to write number 1, and I got to figure out here, how many sides does it have? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to count them. So instead of showing my finger, I'm actually going to do it with a pen so you guys can see it. So I go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for number 1, I know there are 4 sides. Oh, let me straighten this out for you guys. I have 4 sides, which means there is 4 angles. And if I go back to page 390, I'm going to see that 4 sides, 4 angles is also called a quadrilateral. Now I have to do this for 2, 3, 4, and 5. So count your sides up. Remember, however many sides there are, that's how many angles there are. And don't forget to name that polygon. And that finishes out set C. Okay, moving on to set D, we're talking about triangles, whether it's an equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. And that is actually on page 393. You can see here, equilateral has all equal sides, isosceles has 2 equal sides, and scalene, there's 0 equal sides. So I'm just looking at the sides. So if I go back to number 1, I'm going to notice that I have a 3 centimeter, and then a 4 centimeter, and then a 5 centimeter. Well, none of them are the same. So that means that number 1 on set D is a scalene triangle. Now, once I'm done, that's all I have to do for number 1, but then I have to go through and answer 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take a look and see what your side lengths have. If you have all 3 are the same, that's going to be an equilateral. 2 are the same, that's an isosceles. And if 0, none of them are the same, that is a scalene triangle. Okay, then for the final set, set E, it says write as many names for each quadrilateral as you can. So here I'm going to go to page 396 and 397. Here I can see what a trapezoid, what makes the shape a trapezoid, what makes it a parallelogram, what makes it a rhombus, what makes it a rectangle, what makes it a square. So I want to make sure I have page 396 and 397 open as well. Okay, so taking a look at number 1. Okay, number 1, if I go through the list, my trick is let's go through the list. The first one was a trapezoid. Is it a trapezoid? Does it only have 1 set of parallel sides? I see 2 sets of parallel sides, so it is not a trapezoid. Okay, so if I go back, again on page 396 and 397, right, the next one is a parallelogram. Does it have 2 pairs of parallel sides and 2 pairs of equal sides? Does it have 2 pairs of parallel sides? I'm thinking yes. So then with number 1, I'm going to write a parallelogram. Okay, but I have to write all of them. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. Sorry, guys. Parallelogram. Okay, so it's not a trapezoid. It is a parallelogram. Okay, what about a rhombus? It is 2 pairs of parallel sides with 4 equal sides. Is it equal sides? Equal sides? Let's go back and take a look. I'm thinking it does, right? So then after parallelogram, I'm going to write a rhombus. Okay, now let's go back to 396, 397. Is it a rectangle? Is there 2 pairs of parallel sides? Does it have 2 pairs of equal sides? And there are 4 right angles. It doesn't have any right angles, so I know it's definitely not a rectangle. But wait a minute, if there's no right angles, can it be a square? A rectangle and a square? I don't think so. So right now I do have a parallelogram and a rhombus. The only other one I could technically put, if I wanted to, I could put that it says name the polygon, right? And I know it's a 4-sided figure, so I could put a 4-sided figure is called a quadrilateral. Okay, so for number 1, there's actually 3 names for that polygon. Okay, and you're going to do that for numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what I would do, I would go back and take a look at page 396 and 397 and go through. Is it a trapezoid? Is it a parallelogram? Is it a rhombus? Is it a rectangle? Is it a square? Go back through and take a look at the definitions and make sure you list all of them.